What's up, what's up, what's up? Just 350 JP in the house. Right now it is Monday, and that's the time you can see for yourself. AM, that is. And I am on my way to work. Anyway, I was just driving. My wife passed by in her car, so I kind of stopped and chatted, right? So she was listening to some music, and I was like, what are you listening to? Well, actually, we chatted for a little bit, and then we went on our way and stuff. So I called her up, and we were talking through the navigation system and stuff, right? So I was like, what are you, where are you going? She got to a meeting or something like that. And then she was telling me about the music she was listening to. And there's this new, I don't know if he's new, but there's this rapper, I'm not a rapper, but I guess R&B singer from, his music is coming out of New York. He's Japanese, it's in Japanese, I don't know the name of it. But it's kind of like Babyface music and stuff like that. So I asked her how much she paid for the CD, and she was like $30. I was like, wow, that's expensive and stuff, And then she said that she asked me if I wanted to listen to the music or put it on my CD. I might put it in my hard drive on my computer. My computer. In my car, and I was like, no. She's like, why, you don't like J-pop? And I'm like, well, it's not that I don't like it, it's just I don't understand what they're talking about. And then she said, well, it's like Babyface. And do you like Babyface? I said, yeah, I like it, but I don't really listen to it. And she was like, why, you don't like that kind of stuff? And I'm like, it's all fantasy, romance and stuff. And she was like, what do you mean fantasy? I like it, it's good. And then I said, well, these R&B guys talking about coming home and after a hard day's work, and they walk in the house and their wife might be busy, but she'll drop what she's doing because she see her man coming in, or boyfriend or whatever, and see him coming in, and then all of a sudden she'll drop what she's doing, and she'll, make haste to go to him, and he'll make haste to go to her, and they both kiss and embrace each other and stuff like that. And so when I asked, I told my wife, I was like, well, when you're busy and I come home and I ask you to kiss me, you always say no because you're too busy, or you watching TV or playing a game or stuff like that. And I said, so that's why I don't listen to that stuff. I guess it's good for other people. For me, it's stupid, because that's not a reality. And if I did want that kind of a lifestyle, then I had to have a secret lover or some girlfriend or something like that where we don't really meet so much. And you have that, what is it called? That element of expectation, which is, good or whatever, I don't know. And so when you meet each other, you're really excited and stuff, and I said, that kind of emotion is not in the house. So why am I going to sit in my car and listen to that music for what? So I ain't going to say I don't. Sometimes I do, but I get to thinking like, I might be thinking about my ex-girlfriends or, different things like that, or, my ex-wives when we had our good times and stuff like that. But, or, even with my wife now, but those times are so few in between. It's, just don't really make any sense. And most of the time you listening to it, some people might be thinking about their girls, but, or their girlfriend or their wife or whatever. But I'm like, thinking like, man, I wish I had me a woman like that. You know what I'm saying? And, I don't want to be thinking like that. So that's why I told her I don't listen to it. And then she said, well, you don't try. And I'm like, I do try, I'm always trying, but you're too busy, and I understand you working and the kids and, you need your free time and things like that. So, I don't worry about it. So I don't even care anymore. And then she said, well, I said, I don't even care if it's in the house, and I don't care no more. Just go through the routine of just being alive and doing what you got to do and stuff, and, the responsibilities, and just have fun doing that. And she said, well, I want that kind of a house, that kind of a style, so I'm going to try, and you try too. And I said, I just told you, I always do that, but you're the one that's always saying no. She's like, okay, I'm going to try. I'm like, okay, whatever. But it's kind of funny too. And another thing, this is just my opinion too, but like a lot of people are listening to that music and stuff, and it's good and everything. I'm not saying it's good, but sometimes, it can be dangerous because you'll walk down the street and, you'll be at home living with your girl or your wife or your husband or your or your boyfriend or whatever, and you might get into a fight and you can't, and then you say, okay, well, let's squash it, and one don't want to squash it, or the other one don't want to squash it or whatever, and then you just thinking in your head, man, I wish I could be with a woman, or I wish I could be a guy, I'm talking to the guys anyway. But anyway, guys be like, I wish I could be a woman like the ones Babyface be singing about. If I had a woman like that, we could just squash this, we could just go make love, and we just have a good time, and da-da-da. I need to find me a better woman, and this and that, and then that leads to you walking down the street and some girl just smile at you, and then you'll start thinking about, wow, that girl smiled at me. She must be that Babyface kind of a woman, and that's the kind of girl I want. And next thing you know, you making your way and y'all doing what y'all doing, and then things get serious. You leave your wife or your girlfriend for her, and kind of find out it's the same thing. Really much changed and stuff, other than you just getting older and you're not getting wiser and stuff like that. And I'm like, man, it's like, I just don't listen to it. I just don't listen to it because I just don't have a lifestyle. I can go to a club and dance and stuff and maybe drink a little bit, talk to some girl, we all having fun and no responsibilities together, nothing, and both trying to get rid of stress and think 1, 2, 3, whatever things might happen and stuff like that. But, once all the emotions are gone, you still got to get to work and still got to do this, still got to go home to whoever you with or by yourself or whatever, and it's just really, really interesting, and it's kind of sad too. Wow, they look like they took something off. Oh, okay, there is something. Okay, and it's I can't say that. It's just really, really interesting. It's really interesting, and I think that's where a lot of us need to really check ourselves. Listen to these fantasy love song life things and trying to put them in reality to your house. To what you're doing. It could work, but man, it's just it doesn't. I won't say it takes a lot of energy. I'm not saying for everybody. This is just my own personal opinion about myself. For me, it wouldn't take a lot of energy to have that. It's just that I would have to have more of an understanding of the situation of my wife, what she's doing, what she's thinking, and things like that, and then try to help her change in ways that will reduce stress on her if possible, and actually let her understand that instead of just driving her car by herself, listening to that music, fantasizing and stuff, that fantasy can really come to reality, and then just warn her, it's all about when you listening to those songs and those fantasies that she has and stuff like that. It's only one way. It's only what she's thinking and her feelings and stuff. But the other person too are gonna have their feelings in there and their emotions in there too, and it might not feel the same. And it's not supposed to feel the same as those, what you feel on those love songs and stuff like that. You're supposed to have your own individual feelings and stuff like that. But I don't know. I don't want to get into a lecture about love. I guess people figure it out on their own, But I think listening to those songs and then trying to apply them into a real life situation where you're in an environment where that type of lifestyle cannot be nurtured or flourished or whatever it is, I forget the word, then it's not going to happen, and I don't know, people should make room for it, people should try to strive for it, but I just don't listen to that stuff. It's just, and I think that's probably what I'm not trying to say don't listen to their music, but I think people are looking at those music as their kind of a guidelines for their love, and that's wrong. Anyway, I'm out. Peace. Jesse for JP in the house.